here tonight. Start with the opening statement, then we'll take questions. Coach?
Yeah, well, obviously feel very fortunate and happy to win the game. It was kind of the second straight game where we've had a lot of game pressure on us. And the real positive in that is our guys have responded. Down the stretch, second half tonight, we were able to get stops when we needed them. And come up with some big scores, when we were struggling to shoot the ball. And obviously they were doing a lot of switching with their defense. So when you're switching every screen, it makes you have to just become players. You can't really run a lot of plays. You got to open the floor and you got to play off one another. And certainly having Brooks back was great. His impact on the game, as you guys saw, 20 and 10 and assists and steals, what he always does. And guys, I've said we haven't had this group that played tonight has maybe had about 3 practices together the whole year. So, this November slate, I knew with everything we dealt with Ty and Matt and Brooks coming off injury, that it was going to be a little bit of a work in progress. And so to be able to grind out some of these wins when we're figuring things out is great, because these games are very important. As all of you guys know, you got to hold serve here in November to set yourself up. But hopefully the more we play together, as coaches, we'll figure out how to be more effective on both ends. We're not shooting the ball very well right now. We got to get some guys some confidence. We got to, I told these guys in the locker room, they're playing with 2 of the best, most unique players in the country in Brooks and Nick. And we got to do a better job of kind of playing off those guys. Our big guys need to get some more, Matt finally got the lob. We've been preaching that, in a lot of the practices. Matt got the lob that was late from Brooks, but we got to get, whether it's Jalen, whether it's Ty, whether it's Justin, obviously KJ and Angelo, we have to get complementary scoring and shooting, to alleviate some of the pressure off of Nick and Brooks.
Coach, 15 offensive rebounds and 20 second chance points. How huge is that in such a close game like this?
Yeah, I think it's a real strength of our team. When you look out there and you have Nick Martinelli, Brooks Barnhizer, and Matt Nicholson, I mean, that's a big front line. That's a big physical front line of guys who are all very good offensive rebounders. So we do feel that can be a real strength of this team, and we needed all of them. Because we didn't shoot the ball very well. I know we were over 50%, but 4 for 16 from 3. We missed some free throws there. So being able to get some second chance points and some offensive rebounds was huge. And I hope that can continue to be a strength for us.
Coach Tice kind of sealed the game with the steal there at the end. With the mismatch with him being that much smaller, how difficult is it to make a play like that?
It's just a heads-up play. We had the 2-point lead, and the previous possession, if you remember, we were up 3, and we overhelped on penetration, and we gave up the 3. So, we went to a small lineup to switch every screen, just to get to that 3-point line, because worst-case scenario, they score a 2 and we got the ball, with the last chance to win the game. So we went to a switching all 5 positions lineup. Ty got on their big guy. He tried to back him down, and just a really heads up play for a senior, kind of pulled the chair on him there and got the steal and was big time, and then we were able to take care of the ball and make free throws.
Coach, the team seemed to love having Brooks back when he came out for his introductions. What does it mean to have him back on the floor?
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, it's one of the best players in the country. I mean, so it's for everybody, coaches, players, not having, and he's such a fierce competitor, and his energy, how hard he plays, and his physicality and his leadership and his voice. We haven't had that. We've had it from the sideline, but it's different. And so to have him back out there, I mean, he's the leader of this team, and he impacts the game so many ways. I mean, just with scoring, assists, rebound. I mean, 3 steals, 4 assists, 10 rebounds, 20 points. I mean, there's not many guys in the country, that have that kind of an impact on the game on both ends of the floor. And he's still not 100. I mean, he's 100% healthy, but in terms of he hasn't been playing for a while, so he's going to keep getting better as he gets his legs underneath him. And it was just great to have him back out there tonight. And I was just happy for him. He loves to play. You guys know that. I mean, you guys that have covered us, that kid loves to play the game, and it's heartbreaking when the game is taken away through injury from guys who love it. And so just to see him back out there put a smile on my face.
Yeah, Coach. And then Martinelli had a really strong second half, 16 points, 7 to 13 shooting. Can you kind of just speak of what he meant for you guys here in the second half, and honestly even just the season as a whole?
Yeah, again, we need Nick scoring. We just because Brooks is back, we still, in a lot of respects, I've said he still may end up being our leading scorer. I mean, it doesn't mean that Brooks isn't our most important all-around player, but Nick's ability to put the ball in the basket, we need that. We need his aggressiveness. I thought he missed some shots early, had a kind of a rough first half, and I thought he settled in. We started getting him in the middle of the floor. That was one thing. So it was harder to run 2 and 3 guys at him on those isolations. So we started trying to get the switches we wanted and get him in the middle of the floor. So it'd be hard to kind of send guys, and I thought we had some success with that.
Coach, Brooks had 2 big clutch baskets in the end of the game there. One, I think, with about 3 minutes left, and then with a minute left there.
Yeah.
If you talk about his importance for the team, especially in those clutch moments.
Yeah, I mean that's what you want your guys to do. I want the ball in his hands. And we'll be better. He hasn't been practicing for a long time, so I mean we'll figure out kind of a package of things down the stretch to make sure he's getting in the ball in the right spots to make a decision. And it wasn't only just his scoring. Remember, he threw the lob to Matt too, so he had the big jump hook, to put us up 3, and then the next play after they hit a 3, he gets downhill and hits Matt on a beautiful lob for a dunk. So he just did what big-time players do. He kept poise, he was confident, and he made big plays down the stretch.
And going back to the last play when Ty had the steal and he was trapped in the backcourt, did you call timeout or did Brooks call timeout?
Well, the players have to call. I was screaming it.
Brooks called that timeout.
Yeah.
What does that mean to have that?
Yeah,
kind of
presence of mind. And that's knowing. We talk about it all the time. We get to the last 4 minutes. And something we repeat in every timeout is how many timeouts we have and what the possession arrow is, so that the guys know if they're trapped in the corners or whatever, they know what their timeout situation is, and they know if they're wrapped up, if it's going to be our ball or not. So another heads up play by Brooks when Ty was trapped in the corner there.
Coach, it seems that Montana State was able to get a lot of good looks from beyond the arc.
They did.
Do you think you can maybe attribute that to your defense overhelping in some areas?
Yeah, we and give them credit too. I mean, I say it all the time when maybe we don't do the things we're supposed to do. I don't think coaches give enough credit to what the other team's doing. And I thought they played with pace. They opened the floor. They had a lot of pop. They were getting downhill a little bit, not only with their guards, but the big guys were really effective in the short rolls. And they were spraying the ball out. And, at times we were okay, but we had some crucial breakdowns. But a lot of it had to do with how they were playing offense. And that's what they're known for. I mean, their coach does a great job. He's won everywhere he's been. It's one of the reasons we scheduled the game. I mean, this team's been in the NCAA tournament 3 years in a row. So, I mean, this was not a game that we just played in order to play the game and get a win. We knew this was going to be a tough game. That's why we scheduled them. We feel like they're going to probably have a great chance to win their league and be in the NCAA tournament, and you got to prove your mettle against those type of teams. So we have some really good film to work with. We've played different types of teams. Tonight was a team that really spreads you and tries to shoot a lot of threes. So you kind of learn from the different systems you play against.
Coach, you guys gave up 22 points in the paint in the first half.
Yeah.
Only 8 in the second half.
Yeah.
What was the halftime adjustment that you guys made?
Maybe a little intensity to our voices as coaches to let them know that this team is a 3-point shooting team and they had 20 points in the paint. So that was definitely made clear at halftime to our guys. And then to our guys' credit, they responded. That's what veteran guys do. They got the message and they came out and they had a much better resolve in the second half to protect our paint.
Coach KJ Wyndham played just 8 minutes tonight. He had been starting in place of Brooks.
Yep.
Is that around where you think he'll be in the rotation, or was that more feel of the game?
Not necessarily, just feel the game. We were losing. Felt like the group we had out there, it was such a possession game. I just went with my vets. And that being said, those 9 guys that played are all going to be, they're all going to play. And so, obviously I'd like for him and Angelo to get a little bit more than 8. But tonight, that's what the game entailed. And, we, as they're getting better and they're improving, we also have to win. So, I mean, it's a fine line there. So, probably with Brooks back, some of their minutes will be cut into a little bit, but, they'll determine that. I mean, you also had a game the other night where Eastern Illinois, where I had Angelo on the floor the whole overtime in the last 3 minutes of the game. So I've never been one. I feel the game. I feel what's going on. I see who's playing well. All these guys are going to get opportunities, and I always tell them, if you're playing well and the team's playing well, you're going to stay in. And that's how we're going to keep going forward with it.
Time for a couple more, Tom.
Yeah, Coach, and you guys only had 6 bench points tonight. Is there any concern that there might be too much pressure or put on Martinelli and Brooks? Because I know your philosophy's kind of been like balance.
For sure. And we talked about that, and we got to find a way. I got to find a way as a coach to help those guys out. We need complementary scoring. There's no question. Those guys, we need them to have confidence when they're out there on the offensive end of the floor. That all 4 of those guys who come off the bench to me are guys that should be able to give you some offense. They have scoring mentalities. They have their whole life, and we got to get that out of them. And I think as we play more too, though, we haven't had Brooks. They've played with Nick, but we're figuring things out on the fly right now, guys. We didn't have this group all summer. We didn't have this group all fall. So we're figuring it out as we're playing games against good teams. So I think the more you see us play, the more you see us get some practice time. We got to get through this stretch right here as you get into December, and you have a little bit more windows where there's practice. Hopefully we can keep finding ways to win, but I think you'll see us continue to get better because of that as we go forward.
Going back to Angelo, he had a big play, and I believe it was in the early second half, very, very into the game. He was like big end one play. So what can you say about him and what he's shown you?
Great energy. I mean, I love Angelo. I love both our freshmen. I love them both. They're on a team that's got a lot of vets, and they're learning, and they're huge parts of what we want. And the quicker we can grow him up is going to be the better for our team because he's a very talented player. And I love what he brings to the table. He's got to continue to get better, to learn concepts. It's like any young player, right? Can you minimize some of the mistakes out there on both ends of the floor? But what you can't minimize is his energy. He's a live wire athlete. He's quick. He's aggressive. He gets on the boards. And I think the more he plays and the more confidence he gets, you'll see that talent keep coming out.
Wrap us up, thank you.
All right, last thing. Field hockey team Friday. Tracy's my girl. She's killing it. Let's go win a national championship this weekend. Go Cats.
Martinelli, Brooks, Barnhizer here. If there are any questions for these guys.
Brooks, what did it mean to be back out there tonight?
It meant everything. I missed it a lot. Just to be out there with the guys, being able to go to war with them. It's fun, and I missed it a ton. But I'm glad to be back out there. Like, we got to be better, but it was really sweet being back out there.
Nick, it felt like you got a lot more touches to open that second half. Did anything really change for you out there?
Yeah, we definitely talked about it in the locker room just to have confidence coming into the second half. I was just obviously getting used to having this beast on the court. So, but it was a good second half.
Right here.
Nick, this was your 4th 20-point game of the season, and it feels like the adjustments you made have definitely been working. So what in the offseason did you really put a focus point on for getting ready for this year?
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes with experience. Like last year, I got to get in that starting role. So I've had a lot of game experience, kind of seeing like where I should be cutting, posting, getting to the three-point line. And, my teammates have done a great job trusting me.
Matt?
Brooks, after the layup there, it looks like you were grabbing at your right hamstring a little bit. Is there any long-term concern there or just something in the game?
Yeah, no, I just got to get back used to playing. I think I just got dead-legged on the layup I smoked. But, it was just kind of being out there. And, I felt good. It was a privilege to grab my hamstring. I miss grabbing my hamstring when I get tired. I've been on the bench for the last 3 months. But, no, I'm good.
To the middle.
This is for Nick. So how does it feel being the youngest player in the starting lineup now?
Feels good. Yeah, I'm honestly just happy to have Brooks back. Something we've talked about for a long time, coming back to the apartment and just kind of not being able to celebrate wins with him has just been kind of a different feeling.
Back left. Brooks, did you feel any pressure as a leader and a captain coming back in your season debut to help take some of that scoring responsibility over there?
Yeah, I mean, I think like I always feel a little pressure, but like I definitely think like the pressure is a privilege. I mean, I think you always kind of want to be in this role, and to be a captain and to just go out there and help try to lead your guys. And I think me and Nick like really just we love this program so much just to go out there and be able to come back and hit him in stride with like how well he's playing and being able to try to take some pressure off him. But yeah, no, definitely the pressure is a privilege. So I would definitely want that, and I'm excited to have it.
Brooks, Nick has credited living with you, working with you this offseason as one of his big reasons why he's excelling so far. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think it goes back a long time, but after my freshman year, when Nick was coming on a visit, like we played pickup one day, and I think we just clicked from there. I think like ever since then, he's really kind of been my best friend, and just to see kind of what he's kind of grown into while I've been out is just, and even with like in the summer when I was here, like there's no like surprise for me that Nick's been playing this well because he works, his tail off. So it's just been so cool to see, and I just love being out there with him. So we got to make, every game, take advantage of it because, one day it's going to be gone. But, man, I love it right now.
Both you guys finished, for either one of you, both you guys finished with 20 points, over 20 points, and at least 3 steals. What does that say for both of you to be able to do it on both ends?
Yeah, I mean, I think the one thing about like the conversations Nick and I have had like over this kind of just like this summer and getting back into it now is just we can't be with our team where we're trying to go. We can't be one trick ponies. Like we have to do it on both ends, and that's kind of like our calling card and our formula. Like we are supposed to be a defensive, mindset of a team. So we just got to go out there and lead on that end, and as well as being aggressive on the offensive end. So we just got to do both.
Nick, how did it feel for you to have Brooks back out there tonight?
Yeah, definitely. It's something that I've been praying for a while. Yeah, it felt great seeing him out there just running through people. But one thing especially is the way that he plays is just, it's special and it's winning basketball. He plays so hard. There will be times where he's dead tired and he makes that extra push and takes a charge or grabs a rebound for us, and that's winning plays, Yeah, it's just he has such a respectable game, and obviously this is my last year getting to play with him, and then I'll be watching him in the NBA next year. So yeah, it's just we want to take it one game at a time. Like I'm just grateful that he's out there with me.
Last question, Tom.
Yeah, then for either of you, I guys come back for 42 points tonight. Can you guys speak of the relationship and the type of duo that you guys could kind of be for this program as the season kind of progresses?
Yeah, I think the one thing about Nick and I is like we aren't the most athletic kids out there, but like we just have been around the game a long time, so we know that we got to work our angles, and we definitely both have like a funkier game, so we know that it's going to be weird for teams to guard, and we're both kind of the same stature, same size, so teams are both going to have to, if they send to it Nick, it might be my night. If they send to it me, it might be his night, or if they send to it both of us, it's going to be everybody else's night. So it's just a really good mindset that we have, and no, it's just been so fun. So I'm like excited to see what we can accomplish this year because we're definitely a talented ball club. But yeah, we gotta just get back to where we're supposed to be, and it'll be fun to do that.
Right, that wraps us up for tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.